going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and I'm in Flatbush, Brooklyn. I made a video here a few years ago and it did pretty well. So it's been a minute since I've been here, but this is actually a big neighborhood that have different sections, and some sides of the neighborhood look different from another one. Like this one over here is full of residential units, but if you go a few blocks away, it's a lot of Victorian houses with tree-lined streets. So we're gonna do our best to explore the most out of this neighborhood. So without further ado, join me. And this neighborhood is literally right behind Prospect Park, which is the main park out here in Brooklyn, New York. But once you get to the park, you just get like beautiful areas like this, mostly like old residential units. So I think I'm gonna make it towards the right by Ocean Avenue and make it a little bit by Church Avenue to show you the main street. Then we're gonna detour some of the regular streets, and you're gonna see a huge drastic contrast over there. Even over here, despite it being mostly apartment complex, you see a lot of trees. So it's probably one of the greenest neighborhoods out here in Brooklyn, New York, with a lot of local parks, you know. Then like 2 more blocks ahead of me is Prospect Park. But I've never been in this side, you know. I see something pretty nice here ahead of me. There's a tiny local park over that way too. I think it's like a playground that connects with Prospect Park. And then look at this over here. Apartment complex with a front yard, you know. And architecture is just gorgeous. Funny thing is, this is literally like the beginning of my exploration. So we are in for a treat today. I gotta tell you, today's a little bit hot, but that's not gonna stop me from exploring. The good thing, like I say, this neighborhood has like tons of trees, so this is really gonna help with my exploration. Not too far from here is East Flatbush. They also call it Little Haiti, so it's also like a lot of diversity happening around here. But this is traditional what you get around a lot of neighborhoods in Brooklyn, like apartment complex like this. But like I say, once I merge towards the other side, you're gonna see a huge contrast. But now, I think I'm gonna head towards either Ocean Avenue or Flatbush Avenue, then make part of Church Avenue to show you the business that's happening around there. Then ahead of me, I'm approaching Ocean Avenue. If you see my previous video that I filmed in Sheepshead Bay, it goes all the way down south, all the way up, heading towards Prospect Park. I think that's where the ending it is, or the beginning it is. Then you can literally drive or ride your bike all the way towards many other neighborhoods around here. It's mostly apartments. There's actually 2 avenues. There's Ocean Parkway all the way back there on another side, and then they got this one here, which is Ocean Avenue. And like I said, it's beautiful, mostly residential units that goes through, I don't know, central Brooklyn all the way to South Brooklyn. So that's the beauty about Brooklyn and many neighborhoods in New York City. You can connect just using the main avenue. But let me make it towards Flatbush Avenue. Flatbush Avenue goes all the way to downtown Brooklyn. And Flatbush Avenue in this neighborhood of Flatbush has a lot of business districts. Last time I came here, I didn't really cover like the whole strip, so I think that's gonna be probably like my grand finale, to walk the entire length of this neighborhood in Flatbush Avenue to show you all the business that's happening. It's like a huge contrast. This is nothing, but wait until I make it towards the western side of Flatbush, so you can see all the beautiful Victorian houses. It's gonna make it feel like if you're in the suburbs. And this is Flatbush Avenue. Like I say, it's the main avenue that goes throughout many neighborhoods down in Brooklyn. So here you see they got a market. I think over here they're gonna develop something. A lot of business, you know, dollar stores, delis, convenience stores, a couple of restaurants. This goes all the way towards near Prospect Park. And I literally filmed this avenue a little bit more north when I was making a video of Prospect Lefferts Boulevard, which is also like a really cool neighborhood not too far from here. But it seems like they could do more developments around this side. But this little side of Flatbush seems to be a little bit more of a West Indian, you know, Caribbean style section. Mostly if you go towards this direction, towards my left, it's mostly Caribbean. And they develop a new apartment right here. So this must be new. So it seems like little by little they're starting to, you know, build new stuff around here. Then we got more over this way. Not gonna lie, some of these parks reminds me a bit of Sunset Park and Bed-Stuy, like, but I mean it's Brooklyn, so it kind of makes sense that they have a lot of similarities out here. But we're gonna keep going a little bit more deeper to see how the vibes change. I gotta tell you, it's really cool over here, the avenue, and they got a lot of vendors and everything, you know. Then I think to my left, you're gonna see like a lot of beautiful architectures going on right here. So this is Church Avenue. There should be a theater right here. I think I'm literally passing by it right now. So that building that I passed that looks like it was like the entrance of a theater. It's actually a Target, which is a chain store right here in the United States. So maybe they develop it. So this is Church Avenue. You know, the B and the Q train stops right here. So it's one of the main streets that literally serves out this neighborhood. Like, even in a main street like this, you still see trees, and it seems like they're doing repairs to the street because they got like the original texture of asphalt. So I guess they're gonna renovate it and make it better. It would be nice if they put like a nice bike lane. Then across the street they got like a market. Fruit and vegetable, this is really cool. Not gonna lie, it's a little bit hard to film around this area because a lot of places they be playing like music pretty loud, you know, kind of reminds me like if I'm in Uptown. But that's cool because it shows you, you know, the vibes of the neighborhood. But it's vibrant when you walk around the streets. Then a block from here, the neighborhood is really gonna change. But this is actually a really cool street because this apartment complex, but they have like their front patio with the trees. They did a really good work, you know, to keep it nice. See the trees? So I'll probably show you a little bit of this side. It's just units like this, but then if you go a block or two, it's gonna be houses that you're gonna start seeing. But so far, if you stay away from the main streets or the main avenue in the neighborhood, just like many other neighborhoods throughout New York City, you get residential units like this are peaceful and quiet, and mostly working class people that go to work, you know, and go on about their daily lives, you know. But you know, I tell you, it could take you forever literally to walk every single street throughout New York City. This is nice, they're even watering the plants over here, or the grass. They got old buildings, I like how they have like a light here. Then if I make a left and another left, I think that's where the street changed, so I'm gonna show you that side. So now, literally a block down from where I was filming, the vibes change. It feels like you literally just entered like another town or another neighborhood. Like right here, see? Just beautiful houses with trees that literally covers the entire street. And like I say, a lot of Flatbush looks like this. Like if you get off the train station, you would think it's just like what I was showing you in the beginning, like apartments and business in the first floor. But if you walk a little bit forward, this is what you're getting over here, like a suburban feel. This is actually, you know, like the heart of central Brooklyn, New York. It's actually nice over this side. I think I'm gonna cross my street. See, look at the entrance of the houses. They even have like their own parking. Like it feels like I'm literally somewhere else. And this is just the beginning. It's gonna get much more nicer when I walk into other streets. Then I'm back again, Church Ave. Behind me you see the contrast of the buildings. But then ahead of me it's just like bunch of trees and houses. And this is what you see here, the houses and the trees, where the roads that needs to be developed. And then this is where I was walking, all the business over here. So it's just crazy how it changed. But let's walk a few more blocks here to see what's going on. It's making me feel like if I'm in Queens, like Forest Hills or many other neighborhoods that looks just like this. This is only like a little portion that I've walked. So I think I got a really long walk to do today out here. So this section is called Flatbush Park South Historic District, so it's like divided by different regions, but it belongs to Flatbush. You know, Flatbush is pretty big, and then it has like different sections that have their own name. So like I said, I'm just walking around. You know, here we are in for a treat because you see beautiful paved sidewalks and the houses over here. They're just looking fabulous. So let's walk around. Hey, just look at this. It kind of reminds me of that neighborhood I was filming in Queens, Malba. Like, this is just out of nowhere hidden. Like you just end up in a street like this. But there's a lot of streets that look just like this in Flatbush. This is actually my first time in this side of Flatbush Park South. You know, I was studying the map and I noticed there were some beautiful houses in this side, so I decided to come back and cover it. And what I like is all the trees that you're getting here. This is a huge pine tree, so it must be like really old right here. Look at this pine tree all the way up there. Damn. Some of the biggest pine trees I ever seen. And then look at this house. This is gorgeous, wow. Then ahead of me, I'm approaching Albemarle Road. I don't know if I'm saying it correct. And it's like a dead end road, but it got like a middle division. And I tell you, it's gonna make you feel like if you're somewhere else. I just hope a Karen doesn't call the police on me. But look at this, what the hell, where am I? Is this Brooklyn? This New York City? It is, wow, just look at all this gorgeousness right here. Wow. Would that be much better to bring my bike and bike around? I think that would be fun and easy to get around. But like I say, luckily we have a lot of trees here, so it's pretty helpful, you know. Oh, look at this house, wow. And then across the street is even more nice houses. This is crazy. I tell you, it just blows my mind And I've only walked in like a few areas over here, but like how beautiful this is. Like this house is over here and the house here behind me. Look at this. Open up like this and with the trees. I guess like you literally enter another world. Look how different this is from where I started my neighborhood. And I think in the fall season, it's probably gorgeous out here. I'm not gonna lie, I could spend the whole evening walking around here and exploring. Look at this house. Pretty nice. Like I said, it feels like if you just enter Long Island or Connecticut or New Jersey. But we are literally in the heart of Brooklyn, New York. Then ahead of me is a dead-end road. They got some residential apartment units right here. Then here in the corner, I think it's another nice looking house worth to look at. Yeah, all these Victorian houses are gorgeous. Wow. See, pretty big. So I'm gonna make a right to see what's going on and walk all the way towards the other side to a couple of other blocks. You can see how nice the street is. And even over here, they got a speed bump so that way people don't be going pretty quick. So it's kind of reminding me when I was vlogging in Weehawken in New Jersey, like the same style, you know. But tons and tons of streets that literally look like this. Look at this house. Wow. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's making me walk in the street, which I shouldn't do, but I tell you, all of the houses here are pretty big. Pretty big, you know, like you would never expect to find this over here in the heart of central Brooklyn, New York, but it's possible, you know. Like I said many times, New York never ceases to amaze me in terms of architecture and diversity and what it has to offer, you know. It's just amazing. Like it could take you forever. There I hear the subway train, so crazy. What other place you got a suburb that looks like this, where you have the subway train that takes you right into the heart of the city? So I literally saw a sign in one of the houses that said Flatbush Park from 1899 to, I guess now, 125 years. So I guess maybe the district is 125 years old. The houses are like that old, so it's pretty nice how to be served, you know, all the trees. Then the signs are in the brown color, so you know when it's brown, it's an historic district, and the top it says Flatbush Park South Historic District, so just can't get enough of this. Then look, Beverly Road, and they got a label like this. This is dope. So I think I'll do one block over there, then make a left, and keep exploring the beautiful area over here. And the street over here is a little bit more tighter, but still the same vibe, like beautiful houses, nice paved road, and the trees. And what I like about this over here, comparing to other cities where you see isolation, even in neighborhoods like this, you see diversity of people from all walks of life, all nationalities. So that's what makes New York, you know, unique. You got it, they even have a bike lane right here. And of course, you can't miss out on the gorgeous houses that the district has to offer. So a block ahead of me should be another main street, where it also is served by the Q train line. So we'll check it out to see what are the vibes over there. And then here, what the heck is this? Is this the fall season? It literally looks like the fall with all the leaves over here. And then, wow, look at this orange house. It's actually pretty nice. And the people biking, wow. Kind of reminds me when I watch movies when I was back home and I would see visualized neighborhoods like this. Wow, this house over here is actually catching my attention. Like the orange color, then I saw a mailman delivering right there behind me, so must be a pleasant neighborhood, and the weather's perfect. A little bit on the hotter side, but since they have a lot of trees out here, it makes it pretty pleasant and comfortable for us to be walking around here. So making it to the main street, and I think it's a little bit hard for me to pronounce it. I don't know how you guys say it right here. Not sure if this other street ahead of me is called Cordell. I don't know, maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, you know, but I know the subway train stops there, and then there should be a couple of businesses. So I'll probably show you a little bit around here and then make it towards other portions of the neighborhood out here in Flatbush. So this is the main street here. It kind of has like a vibe of a little small town vibe. So I'm just gonna make it towards this side and see what can I find, and then detour in another street. And this is it, the main street here. Much more chiller than Church Avenue and Flatbush Avenue. But you know, even despite having a suburban feel, the regular streets, you can still come out and get, you know, business out here. And what I love is the diversity. Like, it's just see people from all kinds. So that's what really shapes New York City, you know, like a unique type of city. And if you detour to one of the regular streets, it's just mostly trees. But I'm telling you, man, you gotta explore outside Manhattan. So many cool neighborhoods to see out here. It'll take you forever. Over here's the subway station, Q train. I'm gonna walk one more block and then merge into 17th Street and walk towards the end. Because on another side, there's gonna be like a division of the road that I think is gonna give it like a good vibe, pretty much like where I was exploring a few blocks down. Then over here is a pretty wide sidewalk and apartment complex. But then if you go a little bit ahead, then it just turns like the other streets I was showing you, houses. So I'm just surprised of, the contrast of this neighborhood, of what you can find, And those apartments, I just noticed that not only has like a key code that you get in, but it has like a receptionist. So that's even good, because that way, it's safe, if you're gonna have somebody that tries to come over or something like that. And then, once again, literally a block from this one over here, it turns back into a suburb feel. Just beautiful townhouses, Victorian houses, and all the trees over here. See the contrast right here behind me. Here we are once again. I wonder how it is during Halloween and Christmas. Maybe they decorate over here pretty nice. Maybe in Halloween you see a lot of kids going trick-or-treating, so, the vibes are just super different from the main center of the city. And I love also how they have the sidewalk and the entrance like pretty wide, so it's easy for you to divide, the sidewalk with the cars and people's private houses. I just love how it's filled up with the trees. Like I say, in the fall season it must be gorgeous, but then to rake the leaves is probably the hard part. So there's more houses on the other side. So apparently where I was showing you the house with the colors right after Flatbush Park South, I think it's called Ditmas Park. I'm not sure if this is part of it too, but like I say, it has different sections that are divided, but they literally form all together Flatbush, so, see how big it is. But yeah, that's where all the beautiful colonial Victorian houses are, by Ditmas Park. Ditmas. And look at this intersection. Look at all the trees. Wow. Beautiful. This is Ditmas Avenue, and then the sign is in brown, so I want to read up to see what historic district it is. I just gotta wait for the light to be in my favor so I can cross. So I gotta tell you, it literally feels like if I'm in Forest Hills in Queens. And I read the sign up in the top, and yes, this is Ditmas Park. So it's a little historic district over here that form up, the section of Flatbush. Then ahead of me in the corner, there's another main street. And I see like a new residential unit that they built. This here overhead is called New Kirk, which is funny because in Jersey City, they also have a New Kirk Avenue. And this is the new unit that they pop up with balcony. Wow. I can see myself living here in the corner and being right next to the suburbs, and you got like a deli right here. And here they build this new building, and they build like those windows to resemble like the older apartments. So here you got like this traditional regular apartments that you get throughout all over New York City, but then ahead of me it turns back into the suburb feel. So it's just crazy how the street changes, from one side to another one. Wow. But yeah, then ahead, like I said, it's gonna be like if I just literally enter another world. I'm just impressed with the amount of trees. Like it's a lot of trees and leaves that I cannot even see the houses surrounded by it right here in 17th Street, but we are in for a treat. Foster Avenue and 17th Street, so let's check it out. This area is crazy, but there's a police passing by, so let's wait for the cops first. Just pussy that is New York City. And then now I can hurry up and cross as fast as I can. And look at the trees over here. You cannot literally see like the houses. Wow, it literally feels like I just entered another world. See, with the division there in the middle, and then some beautiful houses right towards the other side. This is another district. I think it's called Fisk, Terrace, Midwood district. So still part of Flatbush, but it's like a couple of districts all together. I'm trying to read it here. Yeah, Fisk, Terrace, Midwood Park Historic District. So yeah, a couple of historic districts combined together that make up the neighborhood of Flatbush. There's another street. Wow, I'm blown away. I can't believe that I haven't come back here soon after I made that video over here a few years ago. Then ahead of me should be another street that looks just like this with trees and stuff, and it's called Glenwood Road. So I'm gonna make a left, walk that street a couple of blocks, and then make it towards Ocean Avenue, and then make it back to Flatbush Avenue to show you how the vibes change over there. And then that's probably like my grand finale of this neighborhood, and we wrap it up. Wow, what a gorgeous neighborhood. Look at this house, wow. Just amazing. I can smell the nature, the trees, like it's peaceful and quiet. Like you don't hear the chaos or smell, Midtown Manhattan. Just beautiful like this. I tell you, just look at all the trees I'm literally surrounded right here. And this is Glenwood Road, which is all the way down there. So I'm gonna walk a few more blocks until I make it towards Ocean Avenue and start walking a couple of blocks heading up north of this neighborhood. So let me just cross the street over here. Wow, look at this house. It's like it's literally covered in trees. And you got the road that looks like this, but let me show you this house over here. See? You got a pine tree over here. These trees are really, really tall, and the house is tucked in the back. So nice. Tell you, when the weather is nice, summertime, spring, even fall season, it's like the best to be exploring New York City. Like, I don't know, I just feel like the vibes change versus winter. Winter could be a little bit depressing, but you know, in summer you see, despite the weather can be a little hot, you just see everything coming out to light. The people outside, the leaves, you know, coming out, and look how colorful, you know, the streets are. This neighborhood also has a college called the Brooklyn College, which is like in the southern tip of Flatbush Avenue, so yep. I covered it last time, but I'm just gonna go walk a few more blocks here and make it to Ocean Avenue. I'm back again in Ocean Avenue, and like I said, this avenue goes all the way to South Brooklyn, and it's pretty big. And Ocean Avenue is mostly like multi-level residential units, you know, and wide streets over here, but it's really cool, you know, for you to be exploring. So gonna walk a few blocks, then merge into Flatbush Avenue for the grand finale. You see, like I say, the apartment right here, more apartments towards my right. Yeah, literally the entire avenue is just full of multi-level residential units. So it keeps going over here. This is once again New Kirk. You see how different it looks like. And here in the corner, I don't know if this is like a house, but it's a beautiful structural building. Literally looks like a mansion. Wow, I'm not sure. Pretty big. And there's another one here that they're renovating it. And then the front apartment building. So it's good that they're renovating or preserving the building, you know. Like I said in many of my videos, I prefer the old architecture. It's just unique, you know. They don't really make it like back in the days, you know. Then once again, we head into regular houses. I'm gonna keep walking there, and ahead of me is Ditmas Avenue. So I'm gonna merge to the right and walk towards Flatbush Avenue. And this is Ditmas, so a few more blocks should be Flatbush Avenue. And here you can see how wide the street is, mostly apartment complex. There's a modern one right here. It's pretty cool. Once again, I made it a Flatbush Avenue. You can see how different it is from the other side, but a lot of business out here. Now I didn't really cover this side the last time I came to Flatbush. So I'm just walking around, strolling around here to see what's going on. So far they got a supermarket here and then old buildings with a couple of business in the first floor. Here you see, nothing crazy, so maybe they can develop this area a little bit more. But this is like mostly like the West Indian side of Flatbush. Got a couple of deli, bodega on the other side, you know. Like I said, this main avenue goes all the way towards downtown Brooklyn, heading towards the bridge. And even got like a supermarket here to my left. So really cool. So like I say, no matter what neighborhood you go in New York City, it's walkable and you'll find anything you need within walking distance. Like I say, Flatbush is literally like if it's 2 or 3 neighborhoods in one, like one side of the neighborhood is different from another one. And then there's multiple subway lines that pass by this neighborhood. I think there's like 3 subway stations. But yeah, like I say, maybe one day I'll walk the entire Flatbush Avenue, who knows? Or maybe I'll bring the bike and bike along so you can see how it changes. I know years ago I covered almost entire Myrtle Avenue all the way towards Queens, and it was an adventure to do that. And as you see, it keeps going over here. Nothing crazy, just like old buildings that got their business in the first floor like you see in all over New York City. And over here towards my right side is Keen's Theater. I didn't know they had a theater over here. It looks like it expands all the way towards the end. So yeah, seems that they do a couple of shows there. They have like an announcement. So an old historic building right here in the heart of Flatbush Avenue. It's a nice, beautiful historical building. It's pretty dope. Then it seems like they're trying to renovate this avenue because I see a couple of new developments going on. And this intersection, they got like chain stores like Gap, Burlington Coal Factory, and Rainbow. You'll see this all over the city and even in other states. Then Dunkin' Donuts right here in the corner. So this is Regent Place. Then got a couple of businesses in that road right there. Here's mostly fast food chain. The guy on the other side. So I think that's one thing that lacks over here is like party food options, but they have a lot of West Indian food options depending what street do you walk, you know. And this area is more modern. They got like more shops over here on this side than the other side walking down south. So I noticed a shop there that has some really cool stores. It's been a minute since I come to neighborhoods like this and shop. Now most of the clothes I get it online, you know. But I think it's better to see it like physically. That way you know if it fits you perfect or not. So it's been an awesome chill evening exploring this beautiful neighborhood of Flatbush in Brooklyn, New York. So I think this is gonna be a perfect spot for me to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all and peace.